Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Most High in Christ bless.
Most High in Christ bless.
First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. My name is Mubz Beatz.
My name is Chadikel.
And this is Mikael.
And today's lesson is a bastard. A Mamzer is not a biracial child. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through this Bible in the spirit of the Holy Spirit. And we're going to go a little bit in the Old Testament, a little bit in the New Testament. And we're going to bring it all together. And we're going to conclusively show you that a Mamzer, a bastard, is not a biracial child. And what we're going to do first is we're going to go first to the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
John 8:32 says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
And the truth of this matter is, and we're going to show you going through this Bible, that you are what your father is, conclusively. We're going to show you at the end of this lesson, and then after that, you can take it however you want to take it. Because we're going to use the scriptures to show you that you are what your father is. We're going to show you that the Mamzer is not a biracial child at the end of the day. And we're going to go through this Bible, and we're going to give you this lesson according to the knowledge that we're going to share with you today. From there, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10, and it reads, "For precept must be upon precept, for precept must be upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little." And we're going to go through this Bible. We're going to go line upon line, here a little and there a little, and conclusively, we're going to give you precept upon precept and show you that a Mamzer is not what some people in Israel are pushing, namely all black Hebrew Israelites. All of those who are claiming that all Israel is just the black man. That's madness, okay? Because we done been through mad captivities and we scattered through the four corners of the globe. That's why we are sent to teach what we teaching to all four corners of the globe.
That's right.
Because it's going to be Israelites that look like the other nations because of who their fathers are. And being as though that people have been through captivities and Massa has raped them, Israel going to look like other nations. So it's going to be wheat and it's going to be tares. Okay? From there, and we're going to attack this head on. From there, we're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 2 through 3.
All right, Deuteronomy chapter 23, starting at verse 2. "A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of Yahweh."
Okay, so right there in the second verse, it says a bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. But we're going to go into the third verse and we're going to show you what a bastard, a Mamzer, actually is. Read.
Verse 3. "An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh."
Who?
Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh.
Okay, so whether you know it or not, an Ammonite or a Moabite is a product of incest. And we're going to prove that, not only with the scriptures, but we're going to pull out the Zalman's Compact Bible Dictionary and the Strong's Coordinates to show you this.
Let me finish on verse 3.
Okay, go ahead.
"An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of Yahweh forever.
Okay. So we're going to pull out the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, and we're going to show you the definition of what a bastard, a mamzer, is.
Bastard. Specifically, child of incest.
A what?
Specifically, child of incest. Appears only 3 times in Scripture. Twice in the Old Testament, once in the New Testament.
Okay. So, we just read to you that a bastard should not enter into the congregation, and we just showed you that a bastard, an example of a mamzer, was an Ammonite or a Moabite. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 29 through 38, and we're going to further expound on what exactly a mamzer is, what the product of being a mamzer is, and how a mamzer, a bastard child, came about that will not enter into the congregation.
All right, Genesis chapter 19, starting at verse 29. Says, give me a second.
Go ahead, I'm there.
All right, verse 29. And it came to pass when the Most High destroyed the cities of the plain, that the Most High remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow when he overthrew the cities which Lot dwelled. And Lot went up out of Zor and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zor. And he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in, and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow, that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in. And lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ammi. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day.
So he just read to you in Deuteronomy that a bastard, a mamzer, shall not enter in the congregation. Then he showed you what a bastard and a mamzer is. And we showed you distinctively from the beginning in Genesis what a mamzer is, which is a product, according to scripture, of incest, where Lot's daughters laid with him, they got him drunk, and one had one nation of people which is called the Ammonites. And the other nation of people is the Moabites, which is a product of incest. It gets no clearer than that, but there's no way to get around it.
And so I'd also like to extend that a bastard or a mamzer, child of incest, extends to the relationship violations listed in Leviticus chapter 18, where it says you can't sleep with aunt or uncle or mother. So relationships that produce children, according to the violations in Leviticus 18, and I'd also extend that's a product of a bastard child.
Can. From there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the book of Ezra, chapter 10, and we're gonna start at verse 10. Because a lot of you black-only Hebrew Israelites like to run to these scriptures and say, both of your parents gotta be an Israelite for you to be an Israelite. So we're gonna touch this head on with you tonight. We're gonna go right on into it. We're not let you know what's going on and the circumstances that are going on around these scriptures for what is going on to take place for the children to be cast out. Read.
All right, Ezra chapter 10, starting at verse 10. Is that it?
Yeah, it's the book of Ezra, chapter 10, verse 10.
All right, Ezra chapter 10, starting at verse 10. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed and have taken strange wives to increase the trespass of Israel. Skip into verse 16 now.
Yeah.
All right, Ezra chapter 10, verse 16. And the children of the captivity did so, and Ezra the priest with certain chief of the fathers after the house of their fathers, and all of them by their names were separated and sat down in the first day of the 10th month to examine the matter. And they made an end with all the men that had taken strange wives by the first day of the first month. And among the sons of the priests there were found that had taken strange wives, namely of the sons of Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and his brethren Maaseiah, and Eleazar, and Jareb, and Gedaliah. And they gave their hands that they would put away their wives. Being guilty, they offered a ram of the flock for their trespass.
But see, Israel, the problem with this is you like to hop right to these scriptures without expanding on what is in actuality going on in these scriptures. You're not given the circumstances that are surrounding these scriptures. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the book of Ezra, chapter 9, and we're going to start at verse 1.
Yeah, it's important to get the full context so you can have full understanding of the scriptures. Well, this is not the Christian church where we cherry pick scriptures to maneuver the scriptures to our point of view.
That's right.
We're trying to understand the scriptures the way the Most High had it.
That's right. And we're going to give you the precepts so you get the proper understanding. And so that we can put this doctrine away from us, Israel, so that we can come together.
And this isn't hard to get in. This is real simple. You just got to put the work into the scriptures.
That's right.
All right, this is Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, The people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations.
Doing what?
Doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites.
So in chapter 10 of the book of Ezra, what they did is they separated themselves from the children and the wives because they didn't separate from the abominations of the other nations, the things that they were doing. From there, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3.
All right, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3.
And we're going to give you the reasons and the chief reasons also why the Most High told you not to take a wife of the other nations. But we're going to give you the reasons why that these children and why the wives were put away from the nation of Israel.
All right, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter thou shalt take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods.
So that they may do what?
That they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
So what was going on in the book of Ezra, the sins were increased in Israel. The Most High was angry with the children of Israel because they had picked up the abominations of the other nations. And we had already been forewarned about these things that were going to happen if we took these wives of other nations. It was already in the law, and it was already written that these things were going to happen to us.
It's like I read verse 5 also.
Bring it out.
Verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy God. Yahweh thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right.
So that's what they failed to do in the time of Ezra and Nehemiah. They integrated with the heathens, and they failed to destroy their idols and altars to pagan gods.
That's right. From there, we're gonna deal with the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, and we're gonna start at verse 1 and we're gonna go through 3. Because these are scriptures that they try to use to try to say that the children ain't Israel. The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13.
All right, I got it. Nehemiah chapter 13, starting at verse 1. On that day, they read in the book of Moses in the audience of the people, and therein was found written that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the congregation of the Most High forever.
Sounds familiar, don't it?
Because they met not the children of Israel with bread and with water, but hired Balaam against them, that he should curse them. How about our God turned the curse into a blessing? Now it came to pass, when they heard the law, that they separated from Israel all the mixed multitude.
That's right.
And that's what we're supposed to do today also. We're supposed to separate from these heathens, not integrate with them, but separate. And so we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
So we're skipping to...
We're going to jump down to verse 23, and we're going to read through 31.
All right, Nehemiah chapter 13, starting at verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
So at this time, they were speaking in the language of the heathens, and they could not speak in the Hebrew. They could not read the Hebrew, so they could not understand the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And that was the problem amongst the people. See, when you read these scriptures, you got to get the full context of it. You got to go back and read it for yourself and not give attention to these hearsays that are going around. You got to read precept upon precept, line upon line, and get the proper understanding through the scriptures so that you know the context of what's happening.
And how can you learn the law of the Most High if you can't read or speak in Hebrew?
Okay.
I want to pull this up if I may. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6, starting at verse 6 to verse 9. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6. Let me start at verse 5. Deuteronomy 6, verse 5. And thou shalt love Yahweh thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house, and on thy gates. So if you can't understand or read Hebrew, how are you going to learn the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? This is a commandment to have the laws in your house, so when people came in, they would know that what rules to follow according to the Most High.
Okay.
Because you know there ain't no Torah written in the Ashdod or the heathen language, no Moabite or Ammonite language.
We're going to go back to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, and we're going to pick it up at 25. Well, let's pick it up at 24.
All right, Nehemiah 13:24 then?
Yes.
All right, Nehemiah 13:24. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
Keep reading.
Verse 25. And I contended with them and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by the Most High, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take your daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon king of Israel sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God. And the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God and marry strange wives? And one of the sons of Joada, the son of Elishib, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat the Horonite. Therefore I chased him from me. So that's an offense right there, where Levi's son-in-law was where the sons of the high priest was a son-in-law to a heathen. We know according to Leviticus 21 that Levites aren't allowed to marry outside their tribe.
That's right.
They was allowed to marry a virgin or a widow that was a Levite.
That's right.
So that was a big offense according to the law. Verse 29, Nehemiah 13:29. Remember them, O my God, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. Thus cleansed I from all strangers and appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites, everyone in his business. And for the wood offering at times appointed, and for the first fruits, remember me, oh my God, for good.
That's right. So these heathen women, they was not allowing, or they wasn't teaching our children the custom because they weren't the women of our nation. And the Levites, they weren't supposed to take wives of other nations, period.
Not even other tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Because they was a set apart tribe.
That's right. And this was a time of war. And what the people failed to do was make the wives of the other nations take on our customs, and instead they were following the customs of the other nations. They was not keeping the law that is in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 10 through 13. Can you pick it up there? The book of Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 10 and 13.
All right, Deuteronomy 21 verses 10. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and Yahweh thy God hath delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seen amongst the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. Verse 14 then, it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
So, you all black Israelites, you think the Most High gave you permission in the law to go out and make Mamzers? If he giving you permission during a time of war to take a wife of another nation? You think that's logical? That makes no sense. It's in Torah during the time of war that you can take a wife of another nation, but she has to put off the raiment of the other nation, meaning she has to put off the customs of the other nation and put on your customs. Ain't none of y'all in a time of war right now. We not giving none of y'all an excuse to go and take a wife of another nation.
We don't have no power.
We don't have no power.
No
so don't think by stretch that we give you permission to go and take wives of another nation at all either. Because we not during the time of war, and y'all damn sure ain't making the women of the other nations take on these customs. It's something you're not doing. You're already celebrating their Christmas. You're already celebrating their Valentine's Day. You're already celebrating their Mother's Day, their Father's Day. So you're doing the same thing that they was doing in Nehemiah. The same exact thing. But you children of Israel.
It was sometimes if they're damaged goods, you gotta let them go.
That's right.
Cleave onto the Most High. And that's what's the case for Ezra and Nehemiah. Though the kids were Israelites, but because they was damaged goods mentally, they had to let it go so they wouldn't spoil the rest of the camp. So you know the old saying that one rotten apple can spoil the whole barrel.
That's right. And during this time, the sins had increased in Israel, even with Solomon. Let's go to the book 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1 through 8, and we're gonna even show you.
Yes, we shows you in Deuteronomy 21 the right way according to the law how to take a heathen wife. In this example, King Solomon of the wrong way of taking on a heathen wife. 1 Kings chapter 11, starting at verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after the other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Yahweh, his God, and as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and went not fully after Yahweh, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build a high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burned incense and sacrificed unto their gods. And Yahweh was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from Yahweh, the God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. Is that it?
Yeah, that's cool. Now right there, this is showing you where Solomon erred. It's actually showing you where not Nehemiah was speaking of. Let's go back to the book of Nehemiah chapter 13.
Let's go there.
And we're going to pick it up at 26. And we're going to show you what the people was doing, what Solomon was doing. The same exact thing. The same thing some of y'all is doing right now. Putting Christmas trees up in your house like you just finished doing. And some of y'all get ready to go out and make monuments to Nimrod again in Tammuz with your chocolate hearts on February 14th.
Or how about we go to Ezra 9? Okay, you want to deal with Nehemiah?
Yeah.
All right, Nehemiah 13, 23.
26.
26, Salakia. Ezra 13, 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
And these outlandish women made him sin by going after other gods. Even though it was a time of war, he didn't make them put off their raiment. He put on their raiment. He decided to chase after their gods. Are we getting to understanding Israel?
Yes, Lockie, when you go to war and you grab a woman from Moab, Ammon, whatever happens in Ammon or Moab stays in Ammon, you just bring the lady and she has to forsake all her laws, statutes, and all her customs and adopt the Most High's customs.
That's right.
And that's why I brought out in Deuteronomy 7:5 that you're supposed to destroy their idols and their altars. And Solomon was building high places and altars for it instead of destroying them.
That's right. From there, we're going to go to the book of Judges, chapter 11, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1, and we're going to go through 11. The book of Judges, chapter 11, verse 1 through 11.
All right, Judges chapter 11, starting at verse 1. Now Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of a harlot. And Gilead begot Jephthah. And Gilead's wife bare him sons, and his wife's sons grew up. And they thrust out Jephthah, and said unto him, Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house, for thou art the son of a strange woman.
The son of who?
For thou art the son of a strange woman. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren, and dwelt in the land of Tob. And there were gathered vain men to Jephthah.
What were these men?
Vain men to Jephthah, and went out with him. And it came to pass in process of time that the children of Ammon made war against Israel. And it was so that when the children of Ammon made war against Israel, the elders of Gilead went to fetch Jephthah out of the land of Tob. And they said unto Jephthah, Come and be our captain.
Come be our who?
Come, be our captain, that we may fight with the children of Ammon. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, Did not ye hate me, and expel me out of my father's house?
Out of whose house?
Out of my father's house. And why are we come unto me now, when ye are in distress? And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, Therefore we turn against to thee now, that thou mayest go with us, and fight against the children of Ammon, and be our head over all the inhabitants of Gilead.
Be they who?
And be our head over the inhabitants of Gilead. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, If ye bring me home again to fight against the children of Ammon, and Yahweh deliver them before me, shall I be your head? And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, Yahweh be witness between us. If we do not so according to thy words, then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and captain over them. And Jephthah uttered all his words before Yahweh in Mizpah.
Okay. Now, to further expound and let you know that even though his mother was a harlot, we're going to let you know that he was one of our brethren. And we're going to pick it up at the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15.
You already know, I'm right there right now. I'm over there right now. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15.
Bring it up.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren.
One from among who?
One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
Mayest not set who?
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
So, if this man was not an Israelite, if he wasn't according to his father's lineage, by law they wouldn't have been able to set Jephthah over them.
Come.
They made Jephthah their leader, even though he was the son of a strange woman. He was of the house of his father. He was chosen to be a leader in Israel because he was of the house of his father.
Come. We got to quit being simple, Israel. Not every Israelite's going to look like Shaft or Grace Jones, dark skin with woolly hair.
Come.
You got to get that out your mind.
Come. To further expound on this matter, we're going to go to the book of 1 Kings, chapter 14, and we're going to deal with verse 21.
All right, let's go there.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 14, verse 21.
It says, And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah.
Son of who?
The son of Solomon.
Okay.
Reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahweh did choose out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Nehemiah and Ammonitis.
No, she was an Israelite.
And his mother's name was Nehemiah and Ammonitis.
No, she's from the southern kingdom.
And his mother's name was Nehemiah and Ammonitis.
So you see that? He was declared being the seed of Solomon, the king of Israel. And his mother was an Ammonitess by the name of Naamah. Israel, we gotta stop being so thick prove everything that we already showed you with the scriptures.
Yeah, the scripture says prove all things, so that's what we're doing tonight is.
And this is the law.
The commandments.
That's right.
This is milk. This is a milk scripture. This is milk. It's a shame we have to even do this lesson. Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. What's like when we start at verse 17?
Bring it out.
Numbers chapter 1, verse 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men, which are expressed by their names, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of names from 20 years old and upwards by their posts.
No, by the house of their mothers.
And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of the families from 20 years old and upwards by their posts.
But see, the foolish thing is that you're gonna run to the Strong's coordinates. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna run to the Strong's coordinates, and what y'all fail to realize that John Strong was a Khazar. That's what y'all fail to realize. And the fake Jews, the Jewish people, the people who are kind of like a Jew, they declare their lineage by their mothers as common knowledge. That they do things contrary to the scriptures. This ain't nothing new to y'all. They do things contrary to the scriptures. And to prove that further, we're going to go to the book of Revelations and we're going to pull out verse 2 and 9.
Revelation 2 and 9, the writings are read, this is Yahweh Shai exposing these fake Jews. Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works, and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
Know the good works.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So that doctrine that you come through your mother's lineage and you are with your mother's lineage, that comes from the synagogue of Satan. That ain't got nothing to do with you, Israel. You were declared by the house of your fathers. And we just broke it down all to you. And we done showed you why Ezra and Nehemiah cast out the Israelites and estranged women from them. And why they did it. Conclusively.
So to say wouldn't further pollute Israel.
That's right. So if you want to stay there and you still want to be simple after this lesson, be my guest, be simple. But the Most High had already told you that Judah shall not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim shall not vex Judah. And you done been showed. Bring it out. You know the verse?
Okay, Isaiah 11. I think it's 14. Okay, Isaiah 11, verse 13. What's like when we start at verse 12? Isaiah 11, 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
From where?
From the four corners of the earth.
So if we scattered in all four corners of the earth, don't you think some of us gonna look like the other nations? Some of us not knowing that we have the knowledge that we are Israelites. You don't think some of them gonna mingle they see with these other nations? You simple.
Verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall not depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them.
So we in this together. And some of y'all simple saying, oh, you just want some Hispanic wives or some dumbass stuff like that. You foolish. That's your brethren, thus saith the Lord. There ain't no way around it. You think we scattered over there in China and some of us don't look like them? We got a brother from Ghana think some of the forefathers that was in Puerto Rico already, or the people that got off the slave boat, they are the children of them, even though a little bit of Spaniards came and tried to conquer the land? You're foolish. The people in the mountains to this day in Puerto Rico still call themselves Ibaros. The Taínos is the Tahitians. Have you lost your minds? Now y'all want to sit there and vex each other instead of bringing us back to who we are when the Most High tried to make us one stick in his hand, like in Ezekiel 37. But it can't none of y'all stop what the Most High got planned anyway. He already set it in motion from the beginning, to the end. He already declared the end from the beginning, rather. It's time for y'all to wake up, Israel.
And I want to bring out Matthew 1:5 also.
Bring it out.
This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 5. And Solomon begot Boaz of Rechab, as Rahab the Canaanite. And Boaz begot Obed of Ruth, who was a Moabite.
Wait. Rahab is in Solomon's lineage? And Ruth is in Solomon's lineage?
Yeah.
Wait, who else is in Solomon? Who else is in that lineage?
All right, we'll keep on. Let me read this again now. And Solomon begot Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begot Obed of Ruth, and Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David the king, and David the king begot Solomon, of her that had been the wife of Uriah. And that's nowhere close to 10 generations.
But keep going though. Let's show them further. Let's show them the error and the destruction of their ways.
All right, verse 7. And Solomon begot Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begot Abiah, and Abiah begot Asa, and Asa begot Josaphat, and Josaphat begot Joram, and Joram begot Ozias, and Ozias begot Jotham, and Jotham begot Achaz, and Achaz begot Ezekias, and Ezekias begot Manasseh, and Manasseh begot Ammon, and Ammon begot Josiah, which is Josiah, and Josiah begot Jehochanan, and his brethren about the time they were carried away to Babylon. So if the Mamzer doctrine is according to the way you guys perplexed, where an Israelite man has a baby with a strange wife or heathen wife, then none of these guys will be qualified to be rulers of Israel or come to the congregation and celebrate the feast days or the Sabbaths with the Israelites.
Let alone that, these same people is in Yahushua lineage. To the 9th generation at that. Not the 10th to 9th generation. You can't pick a loophole because Boaz is in Christ's generation and he had children with Ruth. So you try to call Christ a Mamzer, a bastard? You foolish.
Salaki, Nehemiah 13:1 said the Moabite and Aramite should not enter the congregation forever.
That's right. And forever, a very long time, last time I checked.
So Yahushua is not your king then, if you believe that Mamzer doctrine.
So we just put your Mamzer doctrine in the toilet.
You're denying the Messiah.
That's right. So get out of here with that foolishness. The Most High already said he's gonna cause confusion of faces. His heritage is gonna be unto him like a speckled bird, and Ephraim gonna be a cake unturned.
I think I got a precept too real quick. First Samuel 12:16, I think it was. Or 1 Samuel. That's a lot. I was looking for that one passage that said David was ruddy. 1 Samuel 16:12 says, and he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance and a goodly to look to. And Yahweh said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. And we know that David had a Moabite grandmother, great-grandmother, so that affected his complexion. He wasn't like jet black then.
That's right.
So that shows that the Israelites, more proof that the Israelites came in different shades because they had some of them had heathen women in their lineage.
That's right, because we was allowed to take wives as a spoil during the time of war.
Let me bring out the definition of ready also to clarify for those that don't know. Find it real quick. Ready, according to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it says, a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion, in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. So he was ready like a Red Fox or a Detroit Red, Malcolm X. He had a complexion that stood out. So according to the Bible, there's no such thing as a mixed person.
Not at all.
You are
what your father is. And I hope that we was able to expand on it. And I hope you got the proper understanding. And all you gotta do is go back and watch the video if you didn't, and get your pen and your paper and write it down and see for yourself. Instead of listening to these individualites that hate camps, forsaking the fellowship of their brothers. That's all you gotta do. We ain't doing nothing but giving you thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
And ain't none of it ours. So you can take it how you want to take it. And blessed is he who is not offended in him.
That's right.
Got anything else you want to add, brethren?
Yeah, I just hope this lesson is edifying.
Me too. Once again, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai, and we want to thank the Most High for moving us through the Spirit to give you all this lesson. We really, really do, because it took us to take and go through and re-edify ourselves. So we would like to thank y'all for watching. Shout out to the Judah Knights of Israel. Shout outs to Elder Jediah Malek. Shout out to Rise the Chosen Truth Beyond the Surface Temple, Mid-Atlantic. And we want to thank Sister Dina Chanel Israel for watching. Brother Pierre Collins, Uriel Ben Judah, Brother Daniela, thank you for watching. Man, wish you was here.
I want to shout out to our Facebook family too on the Mikhail 7 YouTube page. It's like a YouTube family.
Yep, we want to give a shout out to Akwe Natzar Saraya. We want to give a shout out to Brother Richie Chester, to Jeremy Espelita, and Brother Mark Daniels. We want to thank y'all for watching. And with that, we say shalom. Kwum Yashua!
Kwum Yashua!
Kwum Yashua!
Kwum Yashua!
Kwum Yashua!
Kwum Yashua!
Long live the King!
Lord!
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai.